Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you are in the world today, I hope that you and your loved ones are doing great. And most importantly, I hope that you are in good health. Once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. On this channel, we get to talk about those things that people know, that people have thought about, but don't often have the time, my friends, to discuss. These, my friends, are the things we discuss here on the Common Sense channel. So once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. Today, veneration or honoring of the ancestors. I'm going to teach you something on how to pour libation. Libation is not relegated to the Africans, but Africans are very notorious when it comes to libation. But other cultures do this. But today I'm going to show you when we do libation, how we do it and the process and what we say. So it will be almost in the form of a prayer. I can imagine during Yeshua HaMashiach time, when his disciple had gathered around him, I can see Peter praying whichever way. I can see James, Andrews, and the others praying whichever way. And Jesus looked at all of them and says, when you pray, this is what you say. So today you see people praying whichever way. But is that the right way? And Jesus taught them. Yeshua HaMashiach, aka Jesus Christ, taught them how to pray. But how many of them are praying that way? They barely even mention the prayers that he taught them. But let me show you how when you want to call on your ancestors, when you want to reach out to them, because they, again, are spirit. And they, like I always say on my videos, have once lived on this planet. And what I'm going to be using today to honor and venerate them, to pour libation to them, are things, are elements that they once used while they were here on earth. So I'm going to show you a glass of water. This is a glass of water. I just want you to visualize this. And this right here is a soda. And all these things that I'm showing you, the soda, the glass of water that you must use, are things that are very significant in the spirit world. Water, for instance, is life. While your ancestors were here, they once used water. You use water for many things. You use them to take bath, use them to quench your thirst, you use them to cook, use them for many things. And water is very significant because life depends on it. So that's why you always use water when you are pouring libation to your ancestors to honor them. So I'm gonna show you when you pray, like Jesus showed his disciples what to say. And the soda here represents sugar, sweet, something sweet. The spirit, in the spirit world, they love sweet things. So this is something I saw my parents do. So you represent sweetness. So the reason why you're using soda to venerate the ancestor or honor them is because whatever that soda represents, sweetness, something that makes you feel good the inside, whatever that soda represents to them will reflect in your life. Your life is going to be full of sweetness, happiness, and joy. And the water is going to bring you life because that's what water does. No human being coming to this earth, when a baby is first born, water is what is used to clean up the child. So water is very significant. So let's just visualize when you're calling on your ancestors, when you're venerating them. You want to think about your great-great-grandparents, the one before your mom and your dad. You call all of them. You give them names. And when you call on them, pray like these. Say, great ancestor, whatever your grandma, your great-grandmother name was, call that name. Call all of the names and say all of the things that you want happen to you. Say it to the bottle of the glass of water, and then pour some to the earth. So you're going to go like this, and you pour some to the earth, honoring them and saying this thing. Pray for your family. Pray for peace for your family. Pray for prosperity for your family. Pray for your community. Pray for all those things that you want to happen in your life. For instance, favor. You know, favor is one of the most important thing that you need to navigate this world. Ask the ancestors to grant you favor. If it's health, ask the ancestors to grant you health. If you're struggling, pray, say, great ancestor, I ask you to continue to open more and more doors for me. Wherever I'm seeing that seem difficult, whatever obstacles that are before me, that are hindering me from getting to where I want to be in life, open that doors. If you're asking for peace in your community, in this country, in the world, say that too. Ask them to grant peace and unity and understanding. If it's in your family, ask them for peace in your family. Ask them for tranquility in your family. Ask them for unity in your family. Whatever it is that you want, ask them for that as you pour the libation, which is the water that I just showed in a glass of water. It has to be clean water. And then ask them, you can even, with the soda, ask them, pour that soda to the earth and say, whatever sweetness this soda bring, let my life, let that reflect on my life. Let my life be sweet. Let joy, happiness, all those things that make me happy, let them reflect on my life. And let them also reflect on the life of those that are around me. You know, my entire family, let them be happy. Because nothing is more better than being in a happy family. It's better, no money can buy that. You know, no amount of wealth can buy that. You know, even in your own personal life. So when you pray, ask for children. If you are out there, you don't have children, pour libation to the ancestors. Ask them. They will grant you that. You understand? This is just another way of reaching out to your ancestors. Again, as I've always said on my videos, your ancestors are your great-great-grandparents, the ones before you, that it is through them you're walking. Whenever you live and you procreate and you bring our life into this world, they become relevant. They'll never die as long as you're producing, you're procreating, and you're bringing in more children, and they are also bringing in children. Your ancestors will never die. And that's the reason why you should honor them. You understand? Because it is their lineage that you're continuing. That makes them everlasting. It makes them eternal. You understand? It gives them eternal life. Because when you live, they live. And then when you live and reproduce more life, that life lives on, and then you live. So that's how it is. So you will never die. So that's why you must honor your ancestors, because it is out of them that you came, and it is through them that you're walking, and their DNA is always going to be a reflection of you. And you're always going to, as long as you're producing, that generation is going to continue. But then you always have to remember that that generation must have started somewhere. And that's why I always say you must venerate and honor your ancestors, because their life and legacy will continue through you. It will continue through you and the generation to come. You understand? So when you pour libation, always ask for those things. Reach out to them and ask for all the things that you want, the things that you desire, the things that you're finding difficulties to get, reach out to them. Just like when Jesus taught his people, you're praying to the ancestors. You're not praying to someone's ancestors. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm just saying, honor your ancestors. Honor your parents, your great-great-grandparents, your mom, their own parents, and their parents' parents. So you're reaching back maybe 6, 7 generations and honoring these people. Some of them, you've never met them, but it doesn't matter. You can always call on them and they will answer you. So that's one segment of this video. As I've always done in all of my videos, I talk about these people because I feel like without them, we are nothing. Without them, we wouldn't be here. It is their legacy that we are continuing, and we are continuing them, and based on what we do will reflect on them. That's why in some cultures, their name is more valuable. Their name stands with integrity. If you are someone in this world, if you don't have no integrity, that means your name has no integrity. And that name is actually the generation before you. So I believe that in order for me, for my generation, my great-great-great-great-grand, wherever my name came from, in order for them to be respected, I must continue to value that name. I must continue to honor that name. And how do I honor that name? Is to honor that name with integrity, with respect, and with every being, every essence of my being, every ounce of my existence. So I wouldn't bring no disrespect to that name. I wouldn't allow anyone treat me in ways that I don't deserve because of my name. I wouldn't steal, I wouldn't lie, I wouldn't take anything from someone that doesn't belong to me because of my name. Because behind my name are all these people, including my own generation. I will always stand on ethics, I will always stand on integrity, and I'll always stand on morals. And these will be my guide because of my ancestors and because of what they stood for. You understand? So when you honor, when you pour libation, these are all the things that's supposed to go through your mind when you honor your ancestors, so they can make you a man or woman of your word. Even though our word does not exemplify any of these elements that I spoke of: integrity, respect, honor, dignity, transparency. Our society lacks these things. But you must always have these at the back of your mind. Because behind your name are all these people, and these are your generation. These are the roots. They'll always be your roots, no matter what. And then the more you reproduce, the more you procreate, the more they'll continue to live. So for all those ancestors that been on this planet before us, that could not make it to the Atlantic Ocean during the transatlantic slave trade, that perished in the ocean, beneath the ocean, I honor you, great ancestors. All those ancestors that fought against injustice in this country and on the continent of Africa, in South America, in Asia, in the so-called Middle East, in Europe, all of them, I honor you, great ancestors. All those ancestors that came before us during difficult times, that would go on to lay the foundation for us to be where we are today. And the entire inspirations were to make sure that we do not go through what they've been through. Like I often tell my kids, I'm struggling today. I'm going through all of these only for you to have a better future, a future that I I may not see or are not experiencing now, but I hope for you to experience in your lifetime. These were the inspiration of our ancestors. So we are doing the same. So for all those ancestors that went through difficult times just to get us where we are today, I honor you, great ancestors. I want you to know that the struggle has not ended. It continues. But in the meanwhile, we reach out to you. We reach out to you in prayers. We reach out to you in honor. We reach out to you with veneration for your contribution to humanity, for your love for life, and for all that you've done to get us where we are today. I will always and continue to honor you, even though history forgot you and tossed you in the dustbin. I still will honor you, great ancestors. For all those ancestors that make sure the community was safe, I honor you. All those ancestors that fought for children who had no voice, the homeless, those people who were downtrodden, those people who had no hope, those people that they have money for medical care, those people who were poor and forgotten by society, by their own government, by their own healthcare system, by their own political system. I honor you. All those ancestors that were betrayed, all those ancestors that were abused, that were raped, that were murdered, for standing up for what was right. I honor you, great ancestors. I honor you for your contribution. I honor you for what you stood for. Bring back integrity in our world. Bring back honesty in our world. Bring back dignity in our world. Bring back prosperity in our world. Bring back individuals that are upright, individuals that are willing to stand up for what is right, even in spite of all the odds against them. I honor you. Great ancestor, I thank you for the life of all those people in our community that are fighting tirelessly to make sure that no child goes to bed hungry, to make sure that wars and destruction and famine, human degradation ends in our world. Great ancestors, I thank you for all those individuals that are fighting in our world against inequality, against poverty, against disease, against sickness, against inhuman behavior. I honor you and I thank you for their lives. I pray, great ancestor, that you continue to bless this individual, that you continue to give them more strength, give them more courage to go out into the world and do more. Continue to provide safety for them, all those ones that are out there fighting against injustice and for human rights and against abuse. I honor you and I thank you for their lives. Great ancestors, there's a disaster. There was a disaster in Jamaica, the great Jamaica. I pray, great ancestor, for all the lives that were lost in that storm, in that hurricane that hit the great country of Jamaica. I pray, great ancestors, that all those lives get safe passage. I know they have joined you in the world of the spirit. I pray that you grant them safe passage to the great beyond. Great ancestor, for all those that are going through hard times right now because they've lost everything, I pray, great ancestors, that you grant them solace, that you grant them comfort, that you grant them peace. Grant their leaders the courage and the strength and the integrity to help them get the resource that they need. I thank you for all of the lives that were spared in Jamaica, great ancestor. I just want to honor you. I just thought about them. I know they're going through tough times, but that's the story of life. We all someday in our lives will go through tough times. It depends on how we bounce back. And that, my friend, is the story that will be written in the book, in our own chapter, once we exit this world. But all of those individuals that are suffering right now, that are homeless in Jamaica, I pray, great ancestors, that you continue to bless them with favor. You continue to elevate their leaders so they can help them in ways beyond understanding. Because no great God is coming from nowhere to help them. It is human beings that will provide this solution for earthly things and for things that will benefit human beings on this planet. And then open more doors, great ancestors. All those humanitarian workers that are pouring into Jamaica right now, I pray for their safety, and I pray that you grant them wisdom and knowledge to understand ways to help, to better help the people of Jamaica. I want to thank you for their lives, and I also pray for Black people all over the world that are seeking knowledge. Grant them knowledge. I pray for unity. All we need now is unity, great ancestors. Once we're united, everything will start to make sense. You know, those things that are hidden from us will start to make sense. And I also pray for all those people that are locked up in darkness. Shine the light into the darkness so they can see their way out. You know, all those people that venerate, whether you're white, you're Black, you're Chinese, you're Hispanic, whatever your race is, once you honor your ancestor, I pray that your ancestor will grant you wisdom and understanding. And that's what we need. Wisdom and understanding to know how to navigate our world. Because our world right now is confused. There's so many things happening in our world today. But I pray that we start to pay attention to it. We shouldn't just marinate and forget about what's happening in our world. Great ancestors, show us, enlighten us, open our eyes to see these things that are happening around us, so that way we're not locked up in doubt when real things happening. All those people that are suffering from disease, famine, wars, human suffering across the globe, I pray for comfort. I pray for solace. I pray for knowledge and understanding to get them out of that situation. And our leaders that are confused, that slowly and slowly driving our world into ultimate or absolute destruction, grant them understanding, grant them knowledge, teach them to understand this is all we have. There's no other place outside of this. This is the only thing we have, this world. And destroying this world, it doesn't make sense. And talk some sense into them. I honor you, great ancestors. I pray that you continue to advocate on our behalf to the Almighty. Tell the Almighty what's happening in our world so we can find solutions to all of the problems that we are going through. These are all humanly problems, and only human beings can solve humanly problems with the help of the ancestors. Why the ancestors are very important in this is because the ancestors, my friends, have once lived here, and they are nowhere but here in our world. Scripture has said it, and I believe it. Our ancestors are here with us, and they have not gone nowhere. And reaching out to them is the closest we can get to the Almighty. I just want to thank everyone that have continued to subscribe to my channel. I want to thank everyone that continue to watch my videos. I want to thank everyone that put their ancestors first by honoring them. Honor your ancestors. You get up in the morning, like I said when I started this video, grab a glass of water, clean water, just like you give them when they were here. If they requested water from you or drink to quench the thirst, you would give them something good. Pour that water in the morning before you leave your house. Ask them for all the things that you desire. And guess what? You will see. Try it and you will see. There's nothing wrong, again, as I've always said on my video, there's nothing wrong with honoring your ancestors. Let no one tell you it's anything else. It is good to honor your ancestors because, number one, they live in you. It is their DNA that you're going to continue to carry on from one generation to another. So guess what? Because of that, they never will die. You understand? So when you honor them, it's like you're honoring yourself. Get it? So I hope that you are learning, and I hope that you and your family continue to learn and be blessed. As I've always said, the greatest thing that can ever happen to anyone, it's not the day you were born, not the day you graduated from high school, graduated from college, the day you move into your first apartment, the day you have your first child. No. The greatest thing, my friends, that could ever happen to you or can ever happen to you is the day you discover yourself. Because from that day on, everything, my friends, will start to make sense to you. I hope that you are well. I hope that you are safe. And I wish you Godspeed. All those people in Jamaica, I pray for you. And I hope that the Almighty, the ancestors, can grant you peace of mind. Once there is life, there is hope. All of those material things can be replaced. They can be replaced. But your life is the most important aspect of everything. And for all those people that made it alive, I know the ancestor will grant you peace, solace, and tranquility. And the Almighty are with you. Thank you, and have a blessed day.